the last thing I said before you went is that I got invested and I started eating rock candy.
Yes.
You're working on the rock candy. Yeah, go ahead, roll me that 100.
Okay, sure.
Oh, this is gonna be such shit trying to string all these together. With the 78, you find a bit of a ruby, like a little sliver of ruby, worth roughly 5 gold.
Okay, and I accidentally converted that into gold immediately last time. Is that going to be a problem or?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you need to get them appraised.
And you gotta vendor it.
So let me put it back down 5 and then add a
Plus,
token.
sometimes gems are required for spells as components.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Revivify takes a diamond, I think.
What takes a diamond?
Revivify.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the explicit components, but I think it does have some sort of material requirement.
Some of them do.
And I can add enough. That's 5 gold next to it. So that I remember that.
For sure.
Okay.
Well, thankfully, I mean, that kind of fittingly, that was our last round anyways.
Oh, shit.
And as the crowd dies down, they are unanimously on your side, Jimbrax.
Yeah, buddy.
Good shit.
Gin, Prax, Gin, Prax, Gin, Prax, Gin, Prax.
He kind of is like, you know, puffing up his scales a little bit. I imagine that he kind of has like a neck frill. And it's just like, whoop.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights to sort of like make like a spotlight on Jimprax.
I'll burn a charge and one of my wands of prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What do you want to do? Like send a shower of sparks?
Sparkle.
Yeah, like little firework effect, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
a sparkler.
Yep, fantastic. The halfling is gonna get down on one knee and unsling the loot from himself. And is gonna offer it up to you, Jinprax. Alright, for one who is able to best such as I, this is for you. Please take my dearest apologies, and I hope you understand none of this was meant to be taken to heart, and you are the fair and square winner of I'm legally obligated to say just take the damn thing.
Yes, of course. I just he bows and he takes it and he kind of like whispers, if you ever say if you ever compare me to a lizard again, I will roast you and your entire family.
Jeez, man, it wasn't meant to be taken that seriously. Calm. I think you're fine.
Yes, I know. Just in the future, racist slurs are not cool.
How do you hit me?
Not
But I mean,
cool.
are
And he takes it and he like stands back up so he's no longer in earshot.
you not a lizard?
No, I'm a dragonborn.
So
They're big lizards.
So
Jimprax like
hearing all-
pushes. He goes like this, and he's like, "It is not my job to teach you, but figure your shit out." Go ahead, Seth.
So, hearing all of this, Sev is very displeased. She is just going to give him a death glare. Can I roll intimidation?
Sure, with disadvantage. Because you are in the crowd, so we'll see if you can try to like catch its eyes. Does not seem like he sees anything out of the ordinary as he's like unpacking all his equipment and like getting ready to go off the stage, and the crowd's beginning to like disperse.
Jimprax and Seth are going to have a powwow about being like uncommon races in this world.
Yeah.
All right, so I get a cool loot. Does Jimprax know how to play a lute? Let's see. He
I would hope
does.
so.
Excellent. He does.
I'm pretty sure I double checked that.
Yeah, he can
but
play
this is
dulcimer, lutes, and drums.
This is a very special lute.
Ooh, shit.
This happens to be a lute of charismatic mockery.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Should be able to see.
What we've been doing.
Should be able to see it off in the journal now. This lute appears to be just another instrument, though it has noticeably distinct detailing worked onto the fretboard. As you look closer, you see each fret that would normally be a dot is replaced with a smirking face. The lute has 3 charges. As an action, you can play the lute and expend 1 charge to empower your vicious mockery, letting you add your charisma modifier to the damage roll. If you choose to expend 2 charges, you can impose disadvantage on attack rolls to a creature within 30 feet of you.
Oh my god, this is sick.
The lute regains 1d3 charges daily at dawn.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, I love it. This is the
That's
coolest.
very fitting. Yeah.
Jimprax is super excited about this.
Cool. And yeah,
And so is Try.
as the battle has now concluded, the crowd is dispersing as they're rushed through the exit of the tent and being funneled out. And as the clouds are starting to swarm overhead, and the bits of the sunset are fading over the mountains up north, you get this nice amber, this nice red and warm purple hue overhead, as you see they're all funneling over into the big top now.
Okay.
And the echo of a
Shall
bell.
we?
The echo of a bell rings in the air, and a booming voice can be heard all over the circus ground, a little distorted, as if it's coming through some sort of speaker.
The main show is about to begin in 5 minutes. Head over to the big top to grab a seat and prepare for a night filled with wonder and amazement.
Ooh, let's go take a seat.
Yeah.
On we go.
Fantastic. Most people around you now begin to, that you follow, they go over the warm path back over to the giant central tent, and a few remain unmoved, just walking through the stalls and in the opposite direction of the tent as if they're about to leave. The grounds just have no interest in the show. As you begin to move with the crowd, you manage to push your way through towards the front end of the townsfolk. And outside the tent's archway is a wildly dressed elven woman holding a bundle of tickets. She has these long, flowing blonde hair wrapped in braids, sitting around the side of her face, and her outfit consists of a noisy yellow jumper, different patches of colorful shapes, so much like the leotard, and bright red oversized shoes. As you begin to walk through the archway, you see that she is stopping each person as they come in. And as you begin to approach the person that she was just speaking to, she swings around immediately, asks, "Hello! Would you like to support our work and enter a raffle to participate in the Final Acts Magic Show? It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's only a gold per entry. Only a gold for a lifetime of memories."
You guys interested? I mean, it's a lifetime opportunity.
What does the money go to?
Oh, the money goes towards contributing towards the greater good of Ziedler's Thrills and Chills, of course.
What type of magic show?
Your traditional standard fare, a couple of magic tricks to the selected chosen of Abbey Brook.
I'll put a gold down.
Yeah,
put
sure,
mine
here you
down.
go. All right.
Okay. Who all is putting it in?
I will.
Me.
I will.
So pretty much
getting
everyone?
shy, even though it's in a game.
All right,
Do
so we'll
it.
say. All right, so we'll say the 4 of you then, really excluded. Gail, your ticket, as she rips off a stub, hands it to you, comes to 2839.
Hang on, let me write
Jin-
that down.
2839. Jinprax, your ticket, she tears off the stub, gives it to you, is 2852.
2852. Let me write that down as well.
Sev, the ticket that she hands to you is 2900.
Where should I write this down? Like, where's a good place
Uh,
for that?
I believe you should probably be able to edit a note section of the character sheet. Probably add it on there, or add as a notepad or phone note. I'll make a note on my side that where each of these went as well.
Okay.
I just added
And-
it to my inventory.
Sure.
2839 ticket.
Sure. And to you, Reese, it is 2753.
I wrote it down on a human sticky note.
5368.
You know what? That
Got
works.
it.
Fantastic.
No, I'm just gonna put it in the Discord.
That works too. As you enter the big top, you manage to make your way through the bursting crowd is all filling in now. You find free seats grouped together towards the top of the stands. Despite there not being any indication of a light source around, the tent is fully lit on the inside. Is there anything you would all like to do in the meantime?
Jim Prax is awaiting the performance.
Yeah,
Is there
I guess
any
we're just
tasks
having
left
to
to be
see.
done? Oh wait, yeah, we're in the tent, right?
You are
Yeah,
in the
I'd
tent.
say, ooh, map change. Just get some good seats.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Sure. Feel free to go wherever you'd like. You'd be able to find some seats around towards wherever you would really like to be.
Okay.
Whether it's on the top, whether it's in the first row, no matter. The stands do reach roughly like 20 feet tall, and across from the far side is like right over here is where you all entered with the half elf when you first saw the dragon. As of right now, there are no animals inside. You just see like the hay on the ground, a couple of pillars forming like the central points that the tarp falls down from.
It looks like over here would be. Well, I mean everybody's over here, so let's be over here.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Fantastic. Ba-ba-ba-ba. And as the night draws closer, the cheering murmur of the crowd around you begins to like just fill in, and it begins to increase until suddenly all the lights just begin to cut out. And you're just in complete darkness now. Two cones of light break out from the dark, focused on a comical looking figure climbing up to the platform in the center. A blurred mass of copper scales zips out from behind him, flying and swirling in the air. A colorful striped top hat sits atop the figure's head, emblazoned with red, yellow, green circles, and glistening gems to reflect back a bit of the light shown on him. Beneath the hat are a pair of sharp, pointed eyes gazing among the crowd, and a bushy brown beard bristles out, lining his jaw and ends in a complex braided pattern. Wears a jacket and pants matching to the same pattern as the top hat. The dwarf takes a deep breath, and a booming voice rings out across the tent, shaking the stands. Welcome, friends, and thank you for having us here tonight. I am delighted and honored that we could come here to partake in the celebration of Abbybrook's Origin Day. We'd like to extend our gratitude to the mayor for assisting in our endeavors. Kind of light pans over to the mayor in one of the front stands before swinging at the dwarf as the tiny pseudo-dragon continues zipping through the air, spitting out sparkles and emanating faint light in the dim tent before perching back upon the ringleader's shoulder.
Wait, I thought that the wormling was white.
It is.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a different one. Yeah, this is a pseudo dragon. They're smaller, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
I'm mixing up dragons.
I, Ziedler von Alsenheim, bid you to hold on to your seats, for tonight will leave you with a sense of mystery and awe. Do not let your eyes deceive you. What you will see tonight is true. No smoke and mirrors, no mere illusions can compare to the skill and mastery you will see tonight. Our performers have perfected their skills and are willing to put their life on the line for the dangers you will see tonight. And now, my friends, let us make merry in a time of celebration. I proudly present the cast of Ziedler's Thrills and Chills. And by now, just cacophony of music and cheers bursts out the tent. And between the mix of sound, you hear the performers begin to assemble their stages and tools. The lights all flip back on as you see the ringleader takes his leave and exits to the back of the stage. You see like the canvas just flow in a little slight breeze. And two performers start to fall into place. And during the setup, a lull eventually just slowly makes its way through the crowd as the room isn't completely quiet but grows quieter. Is there anything you would all like to do?
Spectate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little like at first I was a little bit worried about like if the pseudo dragon was okay, but remembering what Sev had told me previously, Jimprax kind of swallows this concern.
Just squeezes his plush dragon a little tighter.
How is my stomach feeling from the sugar earlier?
Still not feeling great.
Still not great. Okay.
hasn't been that quite that long.
Yeah, I don't think the only spell I have is Lesser Restoration, and I don't think that counts as poisoning.
So as the performers start moving.
Wait a minute. Sorry, before we one of those new spells that I got, Dale, like what so I don't have access to them right now. Do you remember what there was one of them was like a healing thing, wasn't it?
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds. Yeah, that's mostly just for hit
HP
points.
loss.
Yeah, it's not for like any sort of sickness.
Anything.
Reminds me, I need to put you on here. There we go.
Yeah, so none of the new spells I have are going to be very helpful, like not the bless or anything.
Why do we have 2 Rayleighs?
Wait, there's still 2 Rayleighs?
Are there 2?
Yeah.
I honestly can't see it, so I don't
only
know.
see one.
I only see one
I
too.
see 2. Then why am I seeing 2 of them?
Yeah. Normally,
Are you sure
normally
you
I
don't see Rayleigh and Reese?
I see 2 Rayleighs. Here, I'm sending a picture.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put a picture.
It's
in
fine.
chat.
This is fine.
I want to see me twice.
All right, I sent the picture
okay.
to the Discord because I don't understand why there's 2 Rayleighs.
There is. Darn it. Yeah, I would move them around, but I can't.
I don't know.
Then why is it only showing up for me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time I could move it around and drag it with us everywhere. It was fun.
No, only me.
I don't know. Roll20 doing Roll20 things.
Hashtag just Roll20 things.
After a little bit of time, Zelia's gonna come back out with his top hat off, and you just see his hair like slicked back. Okay, we're all still here. His hair just slicked back, and he's gonna come back on the stage with a bit of like a megaphone, just calling back out to the crowd. Before we begin, let us start with a tale. A tale of wonder and awe. Through happenstance, a dwarf stumbled his way into a bog. Weighed down by the marsh, he struggled, lifting his feet, sinking deeper and deeper down. He's just like circling the entirety of the tent, trying to keep eye contact with everyone. Gasping for breath, the poor dwarf closed his eyes. Where am I hearing myself from?
I think from Hope.
Maybe?
Yeah, because I can hear myself as well, and I see you like double blink.
That's really distracting. Can you turn me down?
It stopped. Why?
Well, because I'm not talking. Oh, no, I guess we're fine.
Wait.
I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know how I would turn you down anyway.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know what happened.
Maybe try custom Dale's volume through Discord.
Well, it seems to be working now anyway, so
Yeah.
there it is.
I got like so off tempo, so. Oh god, where was I?
Dwarf in a bog. Yeah.
Gasping for breath, the poor dwarf closed his eyes and reached out into the air. When his hands grasped something firm, Opening his eyes, he saw he was no longer in a bog, rather all around him were trees with crowns of vibrant colors, a misty fog masking the trunks and ground. Emerging from the mist was the finest creature he ever laid eyes on. Before him was a bejeweled dragon, looming and shifting through the specter-like trees. Light shimmered off its gem-like scales, glistening silver in the light's rays. The dragon asked the poor dwarf his name, seeing him frightened and on his knees. I don't remember, he blurted out. Please don't eat me. I'll do anything. I don't even know how I arrived. I saw you struggling and I couldn't help but offer my compassion, responded the majestic creature. I am Baluna, ruler of the crowned forest of the Fae. It is through my magic I was able to bring you here, but you seem quite lively to me. Tell me, what would you offer me for your freedom, should I decide you needn't stay? And now, my friends, let us present to you the gem and the fervent wonder of Zeidler's Thrills and Chills. And the God damn, I need to get to my notes. I'm all over the place. I apologize.
No, you're crushing it.
You're
Yeah, this
fine.
is good. I'm into it.
Go Dale. Go Dale.
So,
Yeah.
as you see that the performers are now leaving, they're all wearing the similar looking outfits that you've all seen before. The white lead guitar with an assortment of colorful stripes and shapes, along with a white porcelain mask. And looking closer, you see that most of the troop appears to be elf-like with dark ashen skin. Some more on the ash gray side, some more on the like dark blue or the violet side. Mixed in with the group, you see a range of humans and dwarves and a singular blue-scaled dragonborn huffing out bits of blue flame as they finish dragging a small platform towards the center of the stage.
Draprax is interested to see another Dragonborn.
So is Reese.
And as the performers shuffle into place, the show finally begins.
Wait, there's a third Rayleigh.
Wait, what? I'm duplicating?
Wait, there's 4 actually, because like there's some that like they're kind of faded.
I apologize, I can't do anything about that.
Sorry, I'm just it's funny. Okay, go on.
As the performers shuffle into place, the show finally begins, and the lights now cut back out, and the crowd holds a hushed silence as a steady snare keeps rapping and rapping and rapping to a drum roll. A few moments pass as the onlookers grow silent when suddenly, an emerald ball of light explodes from the center of the arena. Green wisps of arcane energy flutter between the stands before returning to the orb. As the wisps return, there is another flash of light as the emerald hues bleed into a mix of sapphire and majestic purples. Through the shadows cast, you see a lone figure, commanding threads of energy waving around their hands. The orb weaver continues their display, and after a series of quick flashes, they summon 2 orbs to their left and right that shimmer white golden light, releasing warm sparkles that fall and dissipate when they meet the ground. Through the shadows, with a flick of their wrist, the center orb begins to collapse in on itself, as the wisps of now amber energy arc and disperse among the stands. The 2 white gold spheres rise up high as the weaver raises their hands above their head. Following the glimmering trail leads your eyes to the 2 platforms located halfway up the center poles. The spheres light silhouettes 2 figures who jump off their stands nary a second after the light touches them. As they take off into the air, they twirl and tumble, performing various acrobatic stunts, steering their arc upwards before their descent. They reach their apex until they begin falling down faster and faster and faster, plummeting towards the ground at a pace that the spheres can't keep up. And as their bodies are devoured by the darkness, an audible unified gasp rings out from the crowd as the chasing spheres begin to dissipate. Moments after the last fragment of light has faded, an immense thud of impact shakes the ground. A flash of orange light breaks the darkness, filling the tent with its warm light, and awestruck, the crowd begins cheering frantically. Up high on the platforms are 2 figures, bowing and waving back to the crowd. Vendors begin to ascend the stairs leading to the stands once the first act is done. A number of voices pierce through the rumble of the crowd, shouting their wares, a mixture of food and cheap attractions. Popping corn! Get your popping corn over here. Only 2 silver for a cup, 5 silver for a bucket. Get your popping corn right over here. Shouts an elf man in red overalls, blonde, slick back hair, tucked behind his ears.
It's the same guy.
My tummy is still not happy.
Jimrax imagines if he eat it, he'd just burn it up so he passes as well.
And I'm
I think,
for rock candy's end, so I think I'm good.
Oh my god.
I
Another.
think Reese is just totally taken by the performance because I think his childhood was kind of lacking. So for him, this is like quite the thrill.
This is like the childhood you never got.
Yeah, so he's right into it.
I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll Arcana or something, or maybe I would just know from being a drow? Are these like light orbs? Like, is this drow magic or is it something else?
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an Arcana, Sev. Let's get a little bit of something. The music starts picking up now that the first act is done. What are you looking? Oh, that's for the intimidation. All right, with the 14. Okay. You detect that like you're familiar with this kind of magic. It's very similar to your use of dancing lights.
But it's like a lot of people at once.
You'd be able to interpret that the center figure, the orb weaver, has just dedicated their life to commanding the different orbs of energy and mastery of colors.
Okay, yeah.
It's nothing that's innately drow-like.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Wait, is the orb weaver a drow though?
You weren't able to see. They had a porcelain mask over their face.
Could not tell. What do they look like aside from the mask?
They had this, like from what you could see, they were all like in shadows. So it would have been like reflections of the lights all around them. They were wearing another dress, but you can't like get an idea of like what the colors would have been or anything.
All right. Well, okay.
All right. Another vendor is just walking through the stands, waving some sticks off in the air. Zeedle sticks here. Show your mastery of the light and wave your Zeedle stick to illuminate the world. Get you a Zeedle stick. It's just this human.
Reese can't help himself and he just wants to get a Zeedle stick. He's
yeah, fantastic.
Getting into his childlike state a little bit here.
You can make your way, or like you can like flag the woman down, and she's just got like these like really bright rosy cheeks. So you can see as she walks up to you, and she's got the same kind of getup on, the same overalls and the really oversized red shoes. And as she's walking towards you over the crowd and the murmur, you can hear like a slight like squeak, squeak, squeak with each footstep. And yeah, she offers you a Zeedle stick, demonstrates that every time it's moved and like waved from side to side, it changes colors.
Does it expire after like an hour or so, or?
It does expire after a set amount of time. Depends on how fast you wave it.
Okay.
It is only 2 silver for a stick. Would you like a stick? Show your support of Zeedle and crew.
You know what? Sure, I'll get a stick too.
How many silvers is 1 gold?
10.
10, wow. Okay.
Oop. Did you want to get one?
Jimprax passes. He's a little bit like enraptured and probably doesn't even notice the vendor. This is unlike anything he's seen before as well.
Fair enough. Reese, did you want to get one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting one too.
Sure. So you two pass over the 2 silver. She gives you the 2 sticks, explains how to start them. You can just like slide your hand down the like length of the rod, and then it begins to shine white. And then when you wave it in the air, it goes through the whole rainbow of colors.
This holds Reese's attention for quite some time.
Next up, you see another vendor on like the other side, and you can like faintly hear through the crowd, "Cracked nuts! We got 5 cracked nuts! One handful, and your mouth will be flaming like you was a natural born dragonborn. One packet's only a couple silver. Get your cracked nuts."
Jimprax is gonna buy some. He's like, just to see when he says your mouth will be crackling like a dragonborn. Jimprax is like,
Challenge
right.
accepted.
Like, yeah, like challenge accepted. I am a dragonborn, bitch, and like is like, I'll take some of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a silver for a pack of the nuts. He goes ahead and
Got it.
hands them over to you. And as you open it, you see like the nuts have a coating of seasoning that's really heavy on cracked pepper. And while they're not hot or spicy to the tongue, once you swallow, the heat begins to swell and build up in the back of your throat. It's like, it is somewhat worse than if it was just on your tongue, because it just causes you to choke up for a good few seconds after a couple of nuts.
Definitely doesn't feel like after a fire blast, but I can understand. I get the concept. I get what they're going for, is what I'll say.
I rate them an okay out of 10.
Yeah. Jimprax's food review.
6 out of 10. Take it or leave it. Mostly leave it.
Hey
Yeah.
Dale, check chat for a moment.
With the cheering.
Yeah, I'm waving my Zedler stick.
I love it.
Nice.
What was I gonna say? Fascinated by like all the pyrotechnics and stuff. On a technical level, Gale is kind of curious to see how this all works and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing, like, in a world where magic is somewhat common, would these
Yeah.
kinds of things even be a wow factor for people, you know?
Yeah.
It's mostly more for the
Non-magical, I guess.
Yeah.
either non-magical or just the pure entertainment.
So, sorry, this is entirely unrelated, but I am shocked and amazed. Minnie is inside one of the hidey holes in the cat tree, and I have never, ever, ever seen her go into a hidey hole that was made for cats. And I am like,
Cats doing
in her
cat things?
entire life. Like she's not like, she likes to sit on the platform and she likes to sit on top of things. She's in the hidey hole, and I'm wow.
No, do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that
Continue.
makes sense, because it's like, you know, like with concerts, with light shows, even though, you know,
Yeah.
there's nothing special for us about, we know they're lights, but they still do a good job.
It
of
still looks
entertaining us.
good,
Yeah,
but
they
like
still
I
look
guess
cool.
Gale is
That makes
curious to
sense.
see how it works, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like he might not be like an engineer or anything, but this might be the equivalent of like someone who's familiar with magic and stuff, just kind of curious as to how it all works.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you cast Detect Magic, because that's only what, a distance of 30 feet.
Yeah, I mean, I won't see the whole thing, but like,
'Cause you
Yeah,
don't
so
wanna
the only
sit
thing that like you
behind
really detect are the Zeedle sticks that people might have gotten around you. These are like a good like 50, 60 feet away from where the performer was. So you wouldn't have gotten to like experience where like what the source of their energy, or like how they were trying to do it.
okay, fair. But like, stuff might happen around us, so like I'll just keep it up anyway.
Yeah, sure. You're just gonna see like a constant glow and like glimmer around the different Zeedle sticks as the vendors are like moving in and out through the stalls. But yeah, during this time, while all the vendors are coming out, the Orb Weaver bows and takes their leave as the rest of the troop breaks out, performing a variety of stunts and expert feats. Now that the tent is fully lit, you see the two figures from up atop the two pillars from before. Both are slender drow, wearing a mask to conceal their face. The masks only vary in color, having the same outward spiral pattern, one blue and one red spur from the center of the white porcelain mask. The two acrobats atop the platforms walk the tightrope, lifting one on the shoulders as the other does a few flips, before landing back on the rope, turning to lift his partner on his shoulders to set up for the next bit as the crowd oohs and ahs in response. Returning your attention down to the ground, you see that a group of performers have now brought out various creatures from the same cages that you saw outside and from what you had seen when you entered in from the back of the tent earlier. You see that there is a yellow striped tiger, the inverted tiger, blackout dandelion orange stripes, the animal leader who looks more noticeably human compared to everyone else you're seeing here. Leads it to various hoops and stands that's been set up as it leads it through, just jumping to a higher and higher and higher hoop until finally gets to the last hoop that's just all set on fire. And with a flick of its tail, as it circles the ring of the hoop, it just washes and wipes all the flame out.
Okay, Jimprex was a little worried about the tiger with the fire, but that it turned it off. I feel like it's probably a fire tiger, so cool.
The troop member leads the cat back down, bows and motions the animal to the back of the tent, as another member comes in leading an elegantly outfitted elephant with like a jeweled headpiece atop its head, motions the elephant over to a giant ball, and the elephant, as gracefully as it can, just puts one gigantic leg up, and you hear just the woof as it lands, another leg up, as the stage begins to like tremble a little bit from the forest, until all four are atop the ball, and it's just balanced, and you see the ball sway back and forth and back and forth, and the crowd's just cheering, clapping as the elephant is waving its trunk all around. And then the act concludes as the elephant steps off the ball and bows and nods its head along with its master. A new troop member makes his way into the tent with a white wormling hatchling, led by a weak-looking chain around its neck. And as you try to look...
Chain ain't doing much for me.
As you look a bit closer, you see various cracks in the links, suggesting that the chain has been in use for a good while.
Is the dragon or is the wormling now within 120 feet of me?
That's a good question. It's being let in from the back of the tent, so yeah, I'll say it's within like 60 feet of you.
I am going to cast message to the wormling again. Are you safe? Let's see. Are you safe, and do you need help?
As you send off your message, you don't see the same response as you did before, and the wormling makes it has no reaction.
Was the elephant not in a good way?
What do you mean?
Was it the elephant that had the chains on it?
No, this is the wormling.
The wormling, okay.
The one that I talked to earlier.
For some reason, I thought he said halfling.
Oh, if I said
And I
halfling,
was
whoops.
having a very different picture in my head.
Yeah, that's...
Oh god!
Oh no!
Oh, poor
God.
Fizzbold.
Jimprax got his revenge and chained up the halfling.
Wow,
Yeah.
that one fortune really did come true.
Right?
Oh god!
Oh no! All right. Can I like roll perception to see, like, to look closer and see if this wormling looks like it's in any sort of harm?
Yeah, you can roll me a perception.
Fuck.
It looks the exact same from when you saw it earlier. You might even be seeing a hint of a smile.
All right. All right. Well, we will. I'll sit and wait to see what happens.
Sure. The hatchling is slightly bigger than the tiger that you saw outside. Its shimmering periwinkle scales protect most of the body, leaving a beige underbelly alone. The wings are folded inwards back towards its back with slight clippings that can be made out from the thin membrane. In his hands, the troop member, noticeably human, he's wearing a cyan spiral mask with strands of black hair just flowing out from the top. He holds a bucket of meat, and he leads the hatchling towards the center of the stage atop the platform and throws one of the cubes of meat upwards. And with a snap, the young dragon extends its neck, firmly securing the meat in its jowls. While you hear clapping from your left and right as the audience begins to erupt. The cyan member continues to throw meat around the stage, and the hatchling tries to move to catch each piece. Some fly directly upward, and with a rumble, the wormling jumps up, snapping the cube of meat out of the air before resting back down on its hind legs. With each movement it makes, a roar of cheers bursts from the stands. The troop member throws a last piece of meat into the air, higher than the others so far, and as the young dragon attempts to jump, its neck is caught by its chain. The chain rattles as the man holds it firmly in his hands. The silence falls as the crowd tenses up amid the rattling, and the chain becomes taut. And with a snap, the chain breaks, releasing the hatchling's neck. It thumps its hind legs, and the young dragon bounds upward, roughly chasing the cube of meat, outstretching its wings, firmly grasping the meat in its mouth now. Free from its chains, it rises higher and higher and higher into the air, roughly 100 feet, before it begins to descend, gliding through the stadium. Cries of fear and screams of absolute terror erupt from the stands as the hatchling soars overhead, breathing and letting loose a hazy mist from its mouth that falls over the crowds. Caught in the light of the tent, the different particles of mist catch and refract. The tent is filled with a number of prisms glistening all over, covering the ceiling and crowd in a brilliant spectrum of colors. The screams die down as the young dragon gracefully descends to the stage floor, following the orders of its master, holding another piece of meat.
Is the mist within 30 feet?
Yeah, the mist is within 30 feet. It's covering the entire of the stadium. I guess it is magic, but it's just the dragon's breath.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
So, I mean, it's as magical as the dragon's breath can be.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna send it another message. Are you safe? Do you need help?
It is going to respond this time with just like a very hushed whisper. All is fine.
All is fine. Okay. All right. I am going to reach over across Rayleigh and grab Jimpax and relay this to him. I just spoke with the dragon up there again. He seems still fine, but different demeanor than earlier. Not sure what's going on with him, but he said all is fine.
Jimprex kind of, not really looking at Sev, nods, and you notice that his claws are, he's, really, holding the fist tight to the point that he's, cutting into himself with his claws slightly.
Sure, moving, squeezing between the scales.
Yeah.
I guess Gale at this point feels discomfort, even though he's sort of half marveling at the show.
I'm going to send the dragon another message. Do they harm you?
You are not going to hear a response back.
Okay, and just to be sure, he broke the chain?
As he jumped up, going into the air, kicking off, when the chain was taut, it just snapped into different pieces.
Okay.
Now that the spectacle's done, the masked man takes a bow, begins to walk towards the back of the tent, and signals the hatchling to follow and throws the meat over to him, leading him out through the canvas flaps. Amazed with the spectacle, the crowd cheers once again, bursting out, not quite as loud as before with the Orb Weaver, as some members of the audience are still recovering from the shock of seeing a dragon so up close, albeit a young dragon, and others are left entirely speechless. The acts go on, each member representing a different skill. A burly dwarf in a tight-fitted leotard with a yellow mask, shiny polished belt, takes the stage displaying heroic feats of strength, lifting and juggling barrels twice his size filled with ale. Takes his leave and some more members come in. The acrobats from tightrope return with the seesaw placed between them on the platforms on the ground, each diving off one of the boards, launching the other member into the air, landing on the tightrope. With a bow, one descends the platform, and the other having remain on the ground, they take their leave amid the clapping and cheering. The acts continue for a good few hours, and the night eventually reaches its close. The audience now hoarse and out of breath from all their vapid cheering. Zealer once again walks out from the back of the stage, climbing onto the central platform, his pet swirling and diving in the air. In Zealer's hands, he holds a leather sack that he's clutching rather tightly. Lads and lasses, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, it is with a sad heart I must say the night is approaching its ending scene. But fret not, for the best is yet to come, the best that you will see. For one of you will have the chance to participate in the final act of mystery. Audience, get out your tickets. I present to you Rizda the Enchantress. And in an instant, a puff of smoke appears beside Zealer. As it begins to dissipate, you see a drow woman in a rather sultry, shimmering purple dress and a see-through veil covering the lower half of her face. The silver circlet with an amber gem atop her head, pulling back her loose silver hair. Zealer begins to fiddle around into a sack, dipping his entire arm inside. Appearing to struggle pulling something out with a last hefty tug, he yanks out a small slip of parchment. 3049. Where is our winner? 3049. There's a bit of a murmur
Not
in the
me.
crowd as everyone begins to check their tickets. And those in the crowd who purchased the ticket outside the big top begin frantically searching. Among the wrestling, hear cries of, "It's gone! No, it's gone!" Or, "Ah, damn, I'm never this lucky." A figure in the front seats, just above the stage, on the opposite side from you. Can I, right over here? So above the back end of the, where the canvas opens and everyone's been leaving. They begin to stand up, and a familiar voice shines, holding up their ticket. I've got it. It's me. A cone of light homes in on the figure.
Mario?
You see, you see the mayor frantically waving around his ticket, proceeding to descend the stairs, heading to the stage.
I'm just
Makes his way
Seb
through.
is gonna grumble. It's rigged.
You see you see him like making his way through the different audience members, and you can see like some of them are giving him real dirty looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like-
more likely rigged than not, honestly.
Yeah.
And like behind you, you hear murmurs of like, "Of course it's the mayor. It's always fucking rigged."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And a cone of light homes on the figure. See the mayor frantically waving around his ticket like Charlie from the with his golden ticket as the crowd just like, swarms him. And he proceeds to descend the stairs, heading to the stage. He steps atop the platform, shakes hands with Zealer, before lightly taking Rizda's hands and giving a slight bow. Zealer begins to call out to the crowd. No more perfect candidate than the mayor, the individual who was able to set all this up for us. Let's give a round of applause for the mayor and Rizda. We can hear just a cheering and like slight befuddlement and remorseful slow clap come out from the crowd.
Reese just rolls his eyes and doesn't clap.
Yeah, same.
likewise. Jim Prax
Gale
probably.
just has like complete resting bitch face.
I'm just casually waving around the zebra wand.
Well, funny you say that. As he's saying this, you can see that he's holding and waving a Zeedle stick himself. As he announces the magician, changing colors, frantically waving it in the air back and forth. The spotlight's all condensed, focusing on the performers in the next act as Zeedler climbs off the stage, making his way towards the back end of the platform of the tent. Well, let's begin with a simple trick, shall we, love? Members of the audience, behold your mare preparing to defy death itself.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
This could go bad.
Rip Mayor.
Rizda spins around, touching her circlet as the gem faintly glows for a second. She purses her lips, and with a snap of her fingers, a wooden box, just the perfect height and size for the mare, poofs into existence, appearing behind the official. She opens the door and motions for him to enter. With a bit of hesitance, and a bit cowardly now, the mayor approaches the box and enters, crossing his arms. Inside as instructed. And Gale, you in particular, as he's moving inside the box, you can see a faint outline of a glowing emblem on the box. As if like it's just a tiny little sigil.
Okay. Does it look familiar to me?
You can give me an Arcana check. Okay. Yeah. With a 15, with your time spent, you can't quite see it too terribly well, but with your time spent at the college, you recall a couple of books going over teleportation, and you think that this might have like some sort of small, small range workings.
I guess I just kind of nod and maybe half roll my eyes and just keep it to myself.
Arista motions off to the side of the stage and raises her arms skyward. Simultaneously, the box begins to ascend beside her. She stops the box roughly 3 feet off the ground and picks up a hoop from the previous act, running it up and over the box. And last, near the top of the canvas, the box comes to a halt as she continues raising her arms, and the box keeps moving upwards and upwards and upwards and upwards. And as it's moving upwards and remaining still and at the same height, you can see it shaking and wobbling back and forth. When ever so slowly, the box begins to descend, gaining speed the further down it goes. The spotlight keeps focused on the box as it careens through the air until colliding with the ground as an immense thud shakes the stands and dust and hay spray everywhere. Particles of the dust settle, and the box that once contained the mare is no more, has now splintered apart. And the crowd gasps, disbelief in their dimly lit eyes.
I'm just gonna say sarcastically, oh no, whatever shall we do?
The woman pieces together the remainder of the rubble and the boards into the rough shape of the wooden container, and she reaches towards her back into a small little bag and removes a pinch of dust, blowing it over the cracks of the box. The dust enters the seams, and as the cracks and as the splits in the wood begin to merge within themselves, the box is reassembled. Rista opens the door of the newly reborn box to produce the mare, arms still crossed, stiff and unable to move. She faces the audience and begins to laugh a bit before closing the door once again, stepping a few feet away to produce a crystal orb. As the drow begins to mutter an incantation, clouds of smoke envelop and circle the box before solidifying into iron daggers, pointed diagonally towards it. For our next trick, Your dreadful little coward of a mare will taste steel and form a new hunger. And the daggers immediately dive into the box.
Like the mayor.
Splinters and shards of wood break off at the impact. The daggers depart on the other side, drenched in streaks of blood. The door of the wooden box falls off its frame as the body of the mare rests lifelessly inside the box, supported only by the backboard of the frame. Panicked, the crowd begins to evacuate the stands and hysterical screams fill the air.
How dead does the mayor look?
Like, is this fake? Like, is this a fake body?
Is there any chance they cloned the mayor first?
Well, maybe the whole thing was scripted because it was his ticket and everything, and they're just trying to trick the crowd.
Or assassinate the mayor?
Likely, yeah, it seems possible just assassinate the mayor. Because you do have to remember, when we first saw the mayor, he was with someone, I think, in leather armor, and there's two groups of people with leather armor, if I remember correctly.
He was with Zealer.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was Zealer? Oh, never mind.
Zealer gave him the sack, and then parted their ways.
Sorry, I got my brain confused. Okay, never mind then.
Well, let's hold. I kind of like.
Hold our horses.
Yeah.
And as you all remain seated, the crowd around you just begins to erupt in hysterical crying and screams of terror as they all begin to rush outside the stands. And other performers begin to move in from the back of the stage and remove the corpse of the mayor, lifting him up, and begin to make their leave.
So you say corpse, so is it actually a corpse? Like,
I can go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Dungeon Master says corpse, and that's what it is, right?
I want to check it out and see, like, if there's anything. I don't know. I don't know if it would be like an Arcana roll to see if it has been like
Can I just
magic.
cast
over
healing word?
at Gale and says, like, perhaps our healing abilities might come in handy, at least to get an idea
He's
what's
like,
going on.
he looks dead. I don't know if we can heal him from this.
Does it? I mean, I just want to see if it looks like maybe it's like not actually the mayor.
Sure. Seb, as far as you can tell, it is full fact, full detail, the mayor, the same exact outfit, the clothing, the position he was last in the box.
What? Sorry, I kind of missed it. Like, what happened to him when he was in the box? Like, what was the mechanism?
He went up in the air. He went down. Box got splintered apart. Rista pieced the box back together as best she could. Blew a little bit of dust into it as the cracks began to reform and merge into themselves. And opening the box, you saw the mayor, arms still crossed over. She closed the door once again and summoned forth a cloud of daggers that all just pierced into the box. And as the daggers left the other side, you saw like bits of blood on the daggers.
Repeat
And
what?
she specifically said that he was like a coward too. Like she kind of was getting negative towards that portion, which makes me think maybe it's legit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I
I
roll
think
an
it's
insight to see
personally.
if I can not only determine if it's real or not, but just see if I can tell like what went wrong. Like, did something happen? Like, did it get dropped accidentally, or any kind of faulty, that kind of thing. Look for.
Would
any
that
kind
be
of
insight? Yeah, go ahead. This is you thinking to yourself, sure.
Yeah, like I'm not an expert, but I might.
Okay.
Did it happen? I didn't hear anything.
With your it went through.
Okay.
With your experience, not having the childhood that the other kids around you now frantically scream their heads off would have had, you don't have much experience with these kinds of shows, but it definitely seems like this act is not something that should have been scripted to have been enjoyed for the celebration of the town.
I turned to everybody and be like, did someone try to assassinate the mayor? Like, did someone cause this to happen?
Yeah, I think the question is at this point, are we gonna do something or are we gonna head out
Okay.
too?
I am
We got a
sending
murder
message
mystery on our
to.
hands.
I'm sending a message to the
It's like a
drow.
Hardy Boys novel.
I want to ask her, I didn't trust him either, but why did you do this?
Absolutely no response.
Okay.
Was the body already carted off?
They're currently moving.
They're trying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then it's too
we may
late
want to
for-
go in there and tell them to like not just move everything. It should be investigated.
I mean, it seems pretty open and shut currently.
Just like
He
the box. Yeah.
dead.
He dead, and
He's
she
dead.
murdered him probably.
killed
Like
him.
she cast daggers. So
Yeah,
So
I
the
guess.
big-
daggers.
Yeah,
The
I
big
guess.
question becomes, what do you all
What
do?
are we doing?
So who was it that you know that you were speaking to said where they're like everything's fine? Like, who was that?
Oh, that was the dragon.
We should go talk to this dragon. Yeah.
why?
Well, I
I
mean, if we
got-
care about
It's intelligent, but it has like the cognitive capacity of a small child.
Yeah.
oh,
But I don't know though, because like I said, like the last message though, like it
well, out of the mouth of babes comes truth. Like you can get a lot of knowledge from
Definitely
if you ask the right questions.
definitely sounded a little more mature, that last response. So
That was me just trying to whisper.
oh. Okay.
Like
But yeah, as you all are talking amongst yourselves, the crowd is continuing to just pour past you as the stadium and the tent is now thinning and thinning out, and the drow and the boxed remains. So the other performers are now heading off towards the back, a few feet away from leaving.
Okay, the people in charge of the show, like that company, Reese wants to look around at them, at the staff, at the people around, and wants to gauge their response. Is the look on their face kind of like, yeah, just another show, or is it like, oh, that's too bad, or are they in absolute shock and horror?
All of the performers and workers are booking it towards the back end of the
Oh.
of
Can
the
I
tent.
see Ziedler?
Nope.
I cannot see him. Okay.
so, who's moving the body then?
It is Rista. Is like right behind it, in front of it, towards your perspective, and there are like three performers that are carrying the box.
So the question is, are we going to try and stop them from carting it away? Are we invested in this?
Honestly, I
Like-
think we should just leave.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, we could stop them. On the other hand, we had a front row seat, and so did everybody else. So everybody knows what happened.
I lean over to everybody and I say, I'm gonna note at this point that what started all of our wonderful grand adventures together was a random embracing of an otherwise thing that had nothing to do with us event. We just did it anyway. Why were we doing that anyway? Were we like looking for work? Like remember the very
Yeah.
start?
Yeah, we were looking for work, and I don't
Right.
know.
So there's
I'm
not
just-
really much work in this, is there? Like per se.
No, I'm just worried that this is above us. With the guild and the guild's involvement and stuff, and I know I make fun of their bureaucracy all the time, but I'm afraid this is way above us. And
Right now, yeah.
I know that I tend to be the one that loves to run in and get myself killed, but I'm afraid if we run in, we are going to get ourselves killed.
We're a
what's-
bit
what-
out of our league here.
What's the guild's involvement in this?
I have no idea. The guild is popular in this city here. Maybe they staged something. There's just too many unknowns that I'm afraid if we go in without information, despite me loving going in without information, that we will
Actually,
die.
as far as I know, the guild has nothing to do with this, but the mayor was closely tied with the circus, which is surprising that he would be murdered here.
So the dragon is approachable, yeah? Like he's there.
Dragon's not in here. And as you're all talking amongst yourselves, the performers have all just sprinted out back towards the door.
I want to see if I can see Elmway. Can I make a perception?
Sure.
Where
The
he
15.
at?
Yeah, you're looking through. You see him like getting caught up in some of the some of the crowd off to the left-hand side.
Message. So left-hand side. Is he like where? Can you like point out on the map where that is? Where he is?
Further to your left, he's probably approaching like the stairs right about now.
Okay. I'm going to send a message to him, and I'm just gonna say, "Oi, mate, over here!" And after that, I'm going to cast dancing lights above us to show him where we are.
Okay. Now
Try to get him to come over.
he ducks through a couple of folks' legs, so the last bit of the crowd now, as he makes his way over to you guys.
What in the flying fuck is going on?
I know. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Reese just
Well,
says, "Did the dragon do this?"
What? I mean, were you even here? I mean, like, I mean, it was what's the name? The sorceress, the magicus, the whatever. Okay, I mean, clearly you knew here, kid. I get it, but I mean,
So, Elmley, what do you want to do?
I mean,
I think we should just leave.
Yeah, I'm on
What
team
is it
just
we're
leave.
afraid of? I'm missing something. Like, what is it that's dangerous to us with this?
We are way outnumbered.
We are
It's
massively outnumbered.
three, right?
This sorceress
5 against
clearly
3?
has great magic. It's us against the entire troop, it looks like,
Yeah.
since they've all fled. It's us
Okay.
against a very few amount of people. They clearly have great magic that they can summon all of those swords.
I mean,
I mean, I can
technically,
use
I
Hail of
could do
Florence.
that.
That's beside.
I
Yeah,
could
there
use
might be
that as
a
if I
better,
wanted,
more
but-
subtle way to get information.
I think this
guess.
is something for the guard to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have a. Like,
I mean,
not
if
story-wise,
you
we
want,
don't
I
have
can
more.
make it. If you want, I can make a scene. I could like.
I will
there
say
already is a scene.
that
What
noticeably,
scene are you possibly going to make that's bigger than this?
Gail,
I
noticeably
have-
from like what you had seen over the past few days, there has been no guard in this area.
Oh, lovely.
No guard at all.
Nope.
So the town is in on this.
Yeah, because I have 2 drift globes. Is all I was saying. I could make a very bright light to try and send
Well,
a signal to anybody that something is
was
going
the
on
town
here.
in on it? Because the entire audience, i.e., the town, like ran in fear.
Well, it might be a bigger bureaucratic thing. I'm saying that this is bigger than us, and
Running from a murder doesn't mean you're in on the murder.
No.
And as you all are talking about the town's in on it, everything going on, Elmy brushes away from you guys and starts
God.
running down towards the other side, trying to
Okay,
track down.
I
So
am
th-
gonna go book it over with him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just I'm gonna.
I was
I'm gonna
asking
go
him what he
follow.
wanted to do so he could tell me he needed backup or not.
He didn't say anything. I am gonna go follow him. Where'd he go?
Okay. I'll follow
He's just
you
heading
guys.
up north.
As in like out the exit this way. Oh.
And he is out the exit.
Oh.
Jim
Uh,
Rex
he
looks
just
to
left.
Gale and is like, I
make
guess
for the
we're
exit.
going. Yeah, Jim Rex makes for the exit.
All of
So
you?
he.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Like,
we're following.
what are we
I
supposed to
mean,
do? Like, we can't bring someone
yeah.
back from the dead. Like, we have no investigative powers.
I
And
mean,
for all we
I
know, the
could,
murderer could still be,
but-
like, about. Like,
I mean, we saw the murderer leave, but yeah. I mean, she could be outside the tent. I don't know. I say we follow Elmley.
All right. And as you all funnel out through the flaps of the canvas of the tent, you're greeted with darkness, little bits of light shining to your left and right off of some lanterns attached to cannons. And before you, you see a couple of cages that have been brought over, one housing the elephant, another housing the tiger, and another housing a mare that is moving and up and alive.
Wait, a
Wait,
mayor.
Wait, what?
And to his side, you see Rizda and a couple of the other performers.
Wait,
What the hell
mayor
is
up
this?
and alive.
And this is where we will stop for the night.
God
What the fuck?
Ah,
I
My
hate
Mayor
you
Clone
so
Fury
much.
is looking more reasonable.
Is this
There
how
are
they
two
wanted to
mayors.
clear
It's the
out
mayor's
Joe?
brother. It's the mayor's evil brother.
Is it?
Mayor faked his own
if we
death.
didn't follow that guy out of the tent, we wouldn't have seen the mayor in the cage.
I mean, I guess that's up to you. If you would have rather like gone around the outside, but you chose to follow.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
liking where
cool.
this
I'm
is
just
going.
very
What the
surprised,
fuck?
Yeah.
What is happening?
I'm confused, but okay.
I am also confused.
Before we head off, let's roll initiative, huh?
Okay.
As Rizta goes and looks at all of you, you see it's just like red in her eye as she hears the flaps and looks back around to see Elmy come through
Before.
as she
Before
fires
we
off
roll-
a blast right at him.
Okay, real quick. That damage that I took in that fight, that verbal battle, was that legit or was I
That
just
was-
counting that?
That was all verbal.
That was all.
So that's nothing physical.
Okay, so it was just like
So,
contest damage.
so I didn't. It was.
Yeah.
It was just for like to mark like the contest.
Yeah, exactly.
for the
Okay, because I don't want to be starting this fight at
Yeah,
like half
no.
HP.
No worries, no worries.
Very cool.
I got healing spells, don't worry.
And whoops, where is?
I'm the worst
Did I-
bard. and I
Ellie, you
don't have
gotta
healing
learn to
spells.
communicate better. I tried.
Initiative.
Yeah, but our yapping allowed him to slip
That's a
away.
mighty 5.
When
All
do
right.
I ever roll well on initiative? That's weird, but I'm not gonna complain.
And as you all should be able to
We
see
still need
now,
So I'm really sorry to keep asking these questions, but where's the initiative?
it should be towards the middle of the character sheet.
Oh, right there. Did I
Yeah.
roll it too?
And this is Raybone, just the prep for next time.
Just out of curiosity, why does mine say initiative 1? Is that just really low number?
It's
No,
the
you
bonus.
Yeah, it's your dexterity bonus.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Oh.
Okay. Fantastic. So we will pick this
Oh,
all up
jeez. Oh,
next
Christ.
week.
Oh
Alright, we're getting into some spicy territory.
My
boy!
oh
We are getting
my.
into some spicy territory. Oh jeez. All right.
Is this the mayor's doing? Did he want to be saved? Is he looking to fake his own death? Why did Rizda fire the bolt off at Elmley? We shall find out next week.
Meanwhile, Sev is just thinking, I should have gobbled that pie down like I was thinking about earlier. I mean, I could still do it, but, you know.
Spence, it's like Skyrim when you pause and
Yeah,
you just
my
like house
question is,
like
has it been 8
Yeah.
hours?
5 cheese wheel cheese. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. It's late for me. Good night, fams.
Enjoy the rest now, y'all.